What is good, YouTube? Quinway basketball analysis coming to y'all with that analysis. We gonna talk about the reaction to the Los Angeles Clippers making it a 3-2 series game with Paul George showing out to the best of his ability. It's been a lot of back and forth and a lot of trash talk and a lot of ego going on between the Suns in the Clippers. I told you the mystery man will be Marcus Morris. They probably win a couple more games if he steps up and have 15 to 20 points. He just didn't do it because he was injured. And then they don't have Kawhi Leonard, and they still find themselves winning 2 games in this series. And he picked the right time because this was an elimination game for the Clippers. And Morris showed up in the first half and made some big threes and made some big buckets. And Paul George was able to close it for him, really, because that third quarter when Phoenix took the lead and it looked like they was going to find a way to steal and win this game, PG stepped up. I never criticized him, never went in on him, never called him the pandemic P or anything in my entire career doing this YouTube thing, but they needed this. This was the game that they needed from Paul George, and he had help. Reggie Jackson hit some big threes, which he has been known for in his entire career, hitting one or two big plays. But this one he had three because he also made the dunk. And I was happy for him. Reggie Jackson has been a fantastic story for the Clippers. Another 20-point night for him. And he was doing it off the dribble. He was doing it from pull up. He was doing it all over the Suns team. And they defense allowed a lot of easy open opportunity for miscommunication, guys not paying attention, and guys not playing hard. And the Clippers took advantage of that. And once they got off to a hot start, they just rode it. They just kept going and going and going. And they was able to close this game out with a significant lead. And even when the Suns tried to make that final run, the big threes from Reggie Jackson just said, no, y'all losing this game. If y'all really wanted it, y'all would have took it by now. Since y'all going to let us shine, let's go out here and do our thing. And now they're going home. So the Clippers went to Phoenix and won. Now they're going to LA and they have a chance to force a game 7 and put even more pressure on the Suns because they can be eliminated. Chris Paul has been a huge disappointment in this entire series. And here's why. He didn't play game 1. He didn't play game 2. And that was a big thing just because this was a series where you wanted the Clippers to get off to a better start. Reason why I said that because they was 0-2 in the previous series, and then was able to come back. Phoenix was able to take a 3-1 lead, so this series is different than those because Phoenix was able to beat them and take the 3-1 lead without tying it up 2-2. But Chris Paul wasn't there, and the Suns was able to steal those games and put the Clippers on the brink of elimination. And you thought Chris Paul, with his first chance legitimately to make it to the finals as a huge part of the team, 1 game away basically at this point still, and you thought he'd come out and do like what he did against the Jazz in the past, like he did against the Nuggets in the past, and he didn't. He laid egg. He had some big shots and he still was able to score, but he hasn't been that efficient. Get the shot, take the shots that I want, and if I don't, I'm just going to kill you with the pass. He has slowed down their offense compared to the other CP, Cameron Payne, but he's not making the defense pay because not only is the Suns not shooting well to me in this series, outside of a couple games in this series, he's not shooting well. And he's not really being that hyper efficient, pick your poison Chris Paul. And this should motivate him to have a big big game 6 because they need him. Chris Paul is one of the biggest reasons why they are in this position when it comes to regular season. They the number 2 seed because Chris Paul had an all-star, all NBA caliber season, and he hasn't been that in this entire series from the start of the series because he didn't play to now. And we want that one Chris Paul game, and that should be enough because everybody else has played decent. Devin Booker continues to struggle. He had 30 plus. Obviously, you look at that, you're going to say Devin Booker had a good game. He didn't. He has spots where he looked good, and he has spots when he looked bad defensively in the last couple games. He has left guys open. He has quit on plays, and he has forced up a lot of tough shots. They look amazing when they go in, but when you continue to shoot below 40%, you have to start figuring out, is I'm really helping my team or hurting my team? And I think Devin Booker is more or less hurting them because these are shots that he can turn down to get even better ones, like he was doing in game one when he was getting all the assists. Now it just seems like he gets in that mode where he just want to shut people up and just take over, but the shots aren't falling. So what's the point of doing it? If you're going to say, here we go, you have to do like Paul George did. Paul George was able to take some tough one, take some easy one, and mix it up, but he had 40. Devin Booker did that already in his playoff run, but he hasn't been able to do it since game one. And that's a problem because he is so important to this team with his creation and shot creation ability. And if he's not hitting shots, and he's also not making plays, then he is a detriment to his team because he's also not even playing well defensively in this series. And he has been getting a lot of stupid fouls, too, that has really put them in a bigger hole because one of their best players, who is also an all-star this year, too, Devin Booker, continues to go back and forth with these guys, and he continues to foul consistently throughout every quarter to the point where he's not playing the minutes that he should be and making the impact that he should be because they're getting in his head, which is a problem. DeAndre Ayton was finally neutralized. The Clippers are hard to beat once they go small. And with no Zubac, they was basically forced to go small. And DeAndre Ayton didn't kill him. He didn't kill him on the glass. He didn't kill him in the paint. And they really was able to gain rebound and basically do it by committee and stop Ayton for destroying them on the inside, even though they were small. The DeMarcus Cousins came in and had a small impact, got double-digit points in quick minutes, and did his work. He made the right plays, made the right reads, and did his thing when he was open. And he was very good for them in miniature minutes. Also, when I look at this series, I said it was going to be close. I didn't think the Suns would sweep them. I didn't think the series would be over in 5, even though it had a chance to be last game. I thought this would be a 6 or a 7 game series, and here we are, 6 games, and the Suns face even more pressure now because if they don't win this game, they will be on the brink of elimination, and their season can be over if they don't win Game 6. And the Clippers already was supposed to lose. Everybody thought that they would lose, and everybody thought that they was done once they went down 3-1 and Kawhi Leonard was ruled out and Marcus Morris was beat up and he wasn't really having a great games or a series so far until this game that they just won. So when I look at this series, the defense has been there. The game is slower than I thought. I feel like they picked that up a little bit this game. I feel like Cameron Payne having an ankle and not playing a lot of minutes hurts them too because he gives them that energy and he has some big plays in this game, especially in the first half, making floaters, making threes, but you haven't seen enough of him. He hasn't really had the impact that he had in the earlier games, and that's been noticeable. One Cameron Payne 15, 20-point game might have been enough to finish off the Clippers, but it didn't happen. So when I look at this series, it's just going to come down to their two killers. Well, Devin Booker and Chris Paul finally step up and play the way that we know they can play. We know the shots that they can get. They're getting those shots. They're just not converting the shots that they normally make. They're getting to their spots. They're getting the space, and the shots are just not falling. I don't know if it's luck, unlucky, or they just panicking or rushing. Whatever it is, this is not the Devin Booker and Chris Paul that we expected when coming into this series, and this is not the Devin Booker and Chris Paul we're used to seeing. If I'm a Clipper fan, I'm happy because we only 2 games away from going to the finals, and we don't even have our best player. If I'm a Suns fan, I'm kind of wondering what's gonna happen because Ty Lue makes great adjustments. He rises the right players, and he has been an excellent coach so far this whole playoff run and this series, and he showed that again this game. Paul George is going to have another one of these performances because I believe if Paul George don't get 40, the Suns probably win this game. So he can't have one of those hot, cold, streaky games like he has had in this series. He can't be doing a 42 and below percentage. He's going to have to stay 47 and above, especially from three, if they want to take down the Suns team. And Chris Paul and Devin Booker got to be ready. They have to be ready. They have to be in kill mode, and they have to do it from the jump. This team should be active and early coming at this Clipper team to let them know it's over. If not, the Clippers going to have hope. The Clippers going to grind it out, and the Clippers going to play together. And you know they have guys that aren't afraid to take big shots or make big shots. They have showed it. That's why they still in this series. That's why in the Western Conference Finals. And like I said, this is a team that you have to step on their neck and you have to cut that throat. If you don't step on their neck and cut their throat, they're going to keep coming and coming and coming. And now you see them winning another game in this series, and the other games could have went either way in this series, and it could have been the Suns on the brink of elimination already. They was able to win and capitalize off of it, but now they have to finish the job. If they don't finish the job, the Clippers get more momentum. The Clippers get more confidence. Tyronn Lue is going to make some more adjustments, and the Clippers could steal this series in seven. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to step up, but Chris Paul and Devin Booker has to play better, has to defend better, and has to create better and play like all stars. And that's something that we really haven't seen enough from them in this series. And if they don't show up, the Clippers don't mind taking another game and having the opportunity to take the series. Other than that, this has been exactly what I thought when it comes to matchup, when it comes to series length. The problem is I just thought Devin Booker and Chris Paul would be better. I didn't expect them to be this bad as they have been, but they still have a chance. They only got to win one fourth quarter. If they win one fourth quarter, they're going to the finals. Let's see if they can get it done. I'll be back later with Bucks Hawks playoff reactions. Other than that, Quinn Wade basketball knowledge is signing out.